Welcome to Pocono Landscape Challenge. I'm Connie Roberts.
And I'm Jim Skakoza.
You know, we got a lot of projects that we've done in the past, and I thought maybe we'd go back and take a look at some of them.
Yeah, sounds like fun. We're at one of the projects we'd done a couple of years ago now, several years ago. And it was an old farmhouse in the area they put an addition on it, and they refurbished the entire house and asked us to come in and bring the landscape up to grade, basically, so they can use the entire property. So why don't we go take a look and see how that came out?
Okay. You know, Jim, this is such a cute old farmhouse.
It's a great little space, isn't it? Let me just kind of tell you how this whole thing evolved. It was an old farmhouse, as I said, originally. They did some renovations on it. They actually had an addition to it, raised the roof. It was a very small property originally. And they really wanted to make it more fitting into the space here, but keep some of the character of the old farmhouse. So they did a lot of the renovations on the interior that kept a lot of that character. And they tried to do the same thing on the outside with more modern materials, obviously.
Right.
Clapboard siding, but it's a newer material, so they don't have to paint it, things of that nature.
Right.
When they were done with the building, they really wanted to express themselves outside a little bit by being able to move out of the entertaining space inside, kitchen, dining room, and come right out to a patio area. And when you stand out here, you can see we've got this beautiful vista. It's a great property. And there's all kinds of wildlife that comes down out of the woods and stuff. So they really wanted a place that they could spend a lot of time. So we developed this patio for them. And there was a few elements they wanted to get in here. They wanted to have a fire pit. They wanted to have an outdoor grilling area. We also added some lighting in here. And we added some sound in here as well. And what happened now is that they spend so much time out here in the patio, other than the days that it's raining, but there is of course a covered area as well. They totally enjoy this space, and it's been greatly used over the period of the last year or so.
You know, Jim, this cooking area looks so nice. How long ago did you do this?
Well, actually I think we did this project 3 or 4 years ago. So the homeowners here really do a great job of keeping up the property, the landscape that we put in, and as well as the hardscape that we did here. You can see we've got a beautiful grill island, and when you stand here and you're cooking, you got the view in the back, the vista, granite countertop. We've got an outdoor refrigerator, and it's still stocked, I see. You know, stuff like that. They recently, I think, bought a smoker. They do a lot of meats in their smoker out here.
Oh, nice.
And they've got several lounge areas. They've got you know, the hammock over there and the chairs, and they wind up doing a lot of entertaining, and most importantly, they wind up spending virtually every evening at the end of the day out here in the patio. And those are the kinds of things that we like to see, because now we know the efforts and the energy that we put into a project is really being used the way we like to see it get used. So this one turned out really nice.
Jim, so I know we got some more places to go to.
Yeah, there's a couple other spots I want to bring you to, some other projects we have done over the years that I thought was worth visiting to show you how things have turned out over a period of time. The next place we're going to go to actually has a pool, which is kind of nice. There's a whole pool area, and I want to show you that. You know what? Just stay tuned, because that's coming up next.
Coming up next, our project is built around an above-ground pool and a hilly terrain.
We found a homeowner who has combined his hobby in with his landscape, and joining up is Glenn Watt. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, what made you decide to do something like this?
Well, it was really, I think my wife that got started. She liked to do gardening, and she was outdoors doing that. And we were looking for what could I do to help her. I don't like to do gardening, but I found I do like to play with trains, and so we combined the two hobbies.
Now, the track that you have here, you have two different kinds.
I do. I have a track that's floating on top of stone. It's all stainless steel track, so it stays out year-round. The second track that's elevated, sort of in our background, is on a roadbed that I've constructed. So the one is down all the time, the other one sort of floats on the stone, so two different styles of putting it down.
And you have how many different trains here, the actual
number of cars and stuff? I have 4 trains. With different engines. I've got probably about 30 cars all told. I don't have them all out today, but I have a pretty good representation of them out.
So in the neighborhood, you're known as a train man.
Yes. Yes, the kids come by and everybody else. Usually we run them in the evening, and they come over and they call me the train man.
So Glenn, how long did it take you to get to this point?
Well, this is about, we're into it 4 years.
Okay.
We started with just a starter kit. It came in a box. It was an oval with a couple of little trains.
Right.
And our first attempt, we literally just put it on the ground. We quickly learned that was not the way you do things. And so then we learned how to put road bed down and stone and level things out. And then every year we've been just expanding and expanding.
And how popular is this? I mean, there are a lot of folks doing this?
Well, it's pretty popular. It's there's people across the country.
Right.
In the Lehigh Valley, I belong to a club. There's about 200 or so people that are doing this. Some with smaller setups, some with much larger ones.
Right.
So you have the trains that actually little kids can ride in your garden.
Well, they can't ride these, but
Not these, but
there are larger trains that you can get that people can ride on. Absolutely.
What is this scale here?
Well, this is called G gauge,
Right.
garden train.
Okay.
It's a 1/29th scale of the real thing.
Okay.
So it's really kind of an odd gauge kind of thing, because when you think of O gauge or HO, those are real scales.
Right.
The G was just tacked on because it's a garden train.
Okay.
But it doesn't really conform to model railroading standards, if you will.
Okay. But this is an accepted gauge in this environment?
It is. If you go to any manufacturer, they will sell trains that will run on this track. They're all this, they all run on the same track. And if you're a purist, you'd probably say that the size of the track to the size of the train isn't truly in scale like it is for an HO.
Gotcha.
But I think it looks good, and we just have fun. That's the bottom line.
It looks terrific, and it looks like it's a heck of a lot of fun. What do you say we take a ride on the railroad?
Sounds great.
All right.
You just never know what you can put in your own backyard.
Well, this is something you certainly don't see every day. And it just gives you an idea of the kinds of things that you can do and how creative you can be in your landscape beyond just using the trees and shrubs. Glenn, I want to thank you. It's been a great time out here. Appreciate the tour.
Thank you.
Thank you. A lot of fun.
And enjoy your railroading.
Community. It's where we work. It's where we play. It's where you'll find First Northern Bank and Trust, offering community banking services. First Northern Bank and Trust is a family-owned and operated bank. Our local decision makers offer fast approvals and customized financial solutions. Plus, we keep your money right here in the community, stimulating local economic growth and providing jobs for our friends and neighbors. First Northern Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I'm Summer Autumn. I play a heating and cooling expert on TV, changing filters and maintaining air handlers. But when I have a real HVAC problem, I call the experts at RJ Groner.
You never want to be too hot or too cold. Don't wait to have your heating and air conditioning checked. RJ Groner is ready to help at home or at work to get the job done right.
Whether it's an installation or emergency repair, call us at 570-421-7260.
Isn't it time for you to start enjoying your backyard just like you see in the magazines and on TV? Hi, I'm Jim Skakoza from Chestnut Hill Nursery, and we're here to help. For over 40 years, we've been creating beautiful landscapes for folks just like you. You can count on us to build it right the first time and create a long-lasting project that'll provide a lifetime of memories. Imagine a new patio, fire pit, or outdoor kitchen. Then complete the scene with amazing outdoor audio and lighting. Together we can dream it, design it, and our expert team can build it. So go to chnursery.com to set up your free consultation. Make this the season you turn those dreams into reality. Start planning that first party now.
Okay, we're at our next location, and this place was done 12 years ago.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. 12 years ago we did a show here at this particular property, but as you can see, the landscape is maturing very, very nicely. And that's because it was laid out very well, it was a good installation, and the homeowners really took care of it. So let's go up and take a look.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you remember this project, Connie. It was kind of a challenge because we had a lot of issues with grade. It's up on a hill and a slope, and the slope actually came much closer to the house, as I recall.
Yeah.
And so what we wanted to do is try to create some more space for the homeowners here, and we put up this retaining wall and pushed everything back, filled behind it, made some level ground for the kids up top, and opened up this area for entertaining.
Yeah, I remember there was a lot that had to be done because the levels were so steep
Yeah.
that this was not really livable space here. You actually
No, it
turned it
wasn't.
into
Yeah.
all of this.
Well,
This
and
was
of course
not
the other
good.
factor, the young children at the time, and they were putting in the pool. So that was a big thing in terms of the design and how we were going to work that into the space. So we'll take a look at that momentarily. But yeah, it really opened things up here. They wound up using the deck a lot more. We have the grilling area, and they do use this property very, very nicely over the course of the season. So another really great project. But let's go look at the pool a little bit.
Okay.
You know, Connie, I think we did this project in a couple phases. I think we started in the fall, got most of the big work done, then came back in the spring and did the completion because we had to wait for the pool to go in. The idea here was that we created this elevated space to create a pool patio, and you wanted the homeowner wanted to be able to walk right into the pool.
Right.
So what we had to do is make sure the pool was in place so that we can build this retaining wall to match the layout of the pool and create a situation where you could go in and out. Obviously there's a ladder here in
Right.
the course of the season, but it worked out really, really nice. So a bit of a challenge to make it work, but in the end it came out great. Allowed some space for the pool house where to keep all the equipment and stuff. Got the fencing around it for security, but it's totally connected to the rest of the landscaping, and they do a great job coming in and out of the house and entertaining in this space. So again, I think it worked out really well.
I know when you plan things out correctly, everything is so nice.
Well, it's very important to plan, okay? And try to anticipate when we meet with folks at their home. We try to get some information about how they intend to use the property. All that information, as we're trying to digest it and gather this, helps us to come up with a better plan for the property, and with the idea that they're going to go out there and really use it.
Well, you know, this is a beautiful project.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that the grade of everything just turned out nice because I guess the water, they have no water issues here.
Well, that was critical, obviously. It was a slope and things were graded towards the house initially, and that was a problem, so we wanted to make sure we took care of that. Again, that retaining wall helped us to create that elevation and grade away from the house and keep all the water to the edge of the property. So it worked out really well in that regard. And again, if you look at the landscape for being 12 years old, at this time of the year it doesn't look great because it's fall, but it really is a wonderful spot during the season, and the homeowners truly enjoy this. But there's one other spot I want to take you to, so why don't we take a look down there?
Okay.
Okay.
Coming up, Jim and Connie go back in time to show us a built-in water feature.
Jim, you know, the one thing that you do is when you leave a site is the homeowner feels good. You know, they really enjoy what you've created for them. But I guess to sort of prepare a homeowner, they really need to think about what makes them feel good. What could extend their backyard into a very comfortable environment?
Right. Well, we like to feel good when we leave a project also, because that's really a big turn on for us, especially when we come up with something very creative. But that's part of the process, and that's the kind of thing we're trying to get folks to think about a little bit more in advance. Prior to me, I even coming out there and speaking with them for some kind of consultation, they ought to start making a list of the things that they really enjoy and how they might see their yard or the projection of their inside of their home start to spill out into their yard. When they do that, it makes my job a lot easier, and I can be a lot more successful because now I'm meeting their needs. They're expressing those needs to me, and I can take those ideas and adapt them into a nice landscape plan. They're going to be happy, we're going to be happy, and ultimately that's what we want to do. I mean, that's the whole job here, is to try to accomplish that end result.
You got great vision when you do
Well, thank you.
work on
But
stuff.
it's part of the toughest part of my job sometimes is trying to garner the information out of the homeowner and try to put that into something that they're really visualizing, because sometimes it's very hard for them to express. So we try to do that with pictures or ideas, and meeting on site and trying to give them some thought process about how we can go in a certain direction. But the reality is they need to do a little homework first, and the more homework they do, the better it's going to be in the end.
Jim, now there's a lot of elements that people could really have in their backyard.
Well, actually it's endless, but you don't have to try to incorporate everything into the backyard. Otherwise you're going to have a real mess. But I mean, you really do want to consider things like structures in the garden to create those outdoor rooms, water feature possibly, whether you want to feed the birds, lighting, other hobby elements that you can bring into the garden, pools, decks, entertaining space for family and friends. So those are the things you really want to begin to think about. So if you do that and you can let us know about that, then we can really begin to personalize that landscape for you.
First Northern Bank and Trust is your local loan specialist for both personal and business needs. Our local decision makers offer fast approvals and customized financial solutions, helping you reach your goals. First Northern Bank and Trust combines friendly service with the latest technologies to make banking quick, easy, and convenient. We continue to grow in Carbon, Lehigh, Monroe, and Northampton counties. Serving you with 11 local branches, First Northern Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Sue Chef. I play a chef on TV, slicing, peeling, and sauteing. And when I have a problem with my fixtures, I call the experts at RJ Groner.
Call today and get your fixtures fixed the right way. RJ Groner technicians are trained specialists who know how to take care of your home's plumbing, heating, and air conditioning.
Customer service is our #1 priority. Whether it's an installation or emergency repair, call us at 570-421-7260.
We're on our third stop, and I remember this place, Jim, because we've done different phases here.
Yeah, this is one of those projects that just kept developing.
Yeah.
Okay, we started here on a small project out front here originally. Boy, that's got to go back probably close to 15 or 20 years ago, I believe. And as the family grew and things changed for the family, it's the same homeowner the whole time. He kept adding more. He had visions of different areas that he wanted to develop, and we kept working together to keep doing that. So it's come almost full circle, because I think this past year or so we did a little bit of rehab out here in the front because it was time, you know. So yeah, it was a great project and great family to work for, and we also help them maintain the property a little bit too. So let's go take a look.
Okay. Well, Jim, I remember when you put this stream in.
This was one phase of the projects that we've done here, yeah. I mean, I think the first thing we did here originally was to put in the patio.
Right.
And when we first put in the patio, that addition there coming off the house wasn't even there.
That's right.
It was a planting space, basically. So we put the original patio in, and then he decided he wanted to do the addition, which is a great family room. And then we had to readjust and reconfigure the patio to make it work with the new space. Then he really wanted to have a water feature and decided he wanted to have a gazebo. So the next project we did was come in, put in the gazebo, and develop this beautiful water stream, which he absolutely loves.
I love the sound of it.
It's great, isn't it?
Perfect, yeah.
And it really, really works wonderfully. It's one of those disappearing pondless systems, so the water flows down, goes down into the basin there and disappears and just kind of gets recirculated.
Yeah.
You know, but then he decided one year, well, I want to have a fire pit, so we built a fire pit. You have the upper landscape up there that we created some great planting spaces. With the shrubbery, we created a few little small retaining walls. But this family is really into flowers, a lot of colors, so we'll come up here and do an annual color package here. So the place is really vibrant with color all throughout the season. And of course we do have some lighting both up in the trees as well as in the landscape itself. So at nighttime, you can just imagine if it's a beautiful evening, you're sitting out on the patio here, you come from inside, listen to the water and look up into the landscape, and it's all lit up at night. It really is turned into quite a magnificent property. But again, the important part was we didn't do this all at one time.
Right.
This was a course of projects over a period of the last 15 or 20 years. So you don't have to really rush into do something and complete, as long as you have a vision and you can work with somebody who really can take that vision and bring it into fruition and have a really nice project when you're done. We can come in and we can do it in phases. Again, as long as we do it logically. The last thing we want to do is to come in and have to rip up work we did previously for access reasons or whatever to do another project. So, you know, we try to stage it in a way that we're not going to have to interfere with work we've already accomplished.
Right.
So this is a great example. This is a wonderful property, great family, and it's just been fun to see them all grow up together here in this landscape.
As my kids grow, in the beginning we had a big swing set and slide in the backyard, and over the years you know, we had lots and lots of friends come over and use that slide. But now that my children are getting older, they've kind of moved on from that facet of their life. With Jim's help, I came up with the idea of putting in a a waterless pond. But I also wanted to make sure that whatever we did, it complemented our existing landscape and also would enhance the beauty of the addition we put on and also the gazebo that we just recently put in as well. And I think by doing that, it exceeded my expectations. It's just something really beautiful.
So as I had mentioned earlier, we do help the homeowners here with maintaining the property. We come in, I think 3 or 4 times a season, just kind of do a spring cleanup, and then we do spruce up during the summer, and then come in the fall and do a cleanup for them as well. On the rest of the season, they kind of maintain it themselves, but we also do a color package here. And basically by that, I mean, particularly up in the back area there, in the back landscape, they really like a lot of vibrant color. So we'll come in and we'll plant a whole series of annuals, and we kind of change it up each year to just kind of twist it up a little bit and have a little different display of color up top there, and in some other areas around the patio and stuff as well, which is really kind of great. But as I said earlier, you know, it's really nice when we can come into a project and really see it from start to end, even though it may take a longer period of time to do it, as long as you kind of plan the project properly and we come in and execute it well. It was really been fun watching this family grow up with this landscape as we built it over the years.
Well, Jim, this is another fantastic project. We're going to wrap up the show in just a minute. We'll be right back.
Still ahead, a final discussion on planning for your landscape project.
Joining me now is John Toohey of RJ Groner. The heating season is upon us, and John's here to give us some tips to help your heating system work properly.
Hi Connie, thanks for joining me today. So it is the start of the heating season, and I've got a couple of tips for our customers out there and our potential customers out there on what they can do to save some money and prevent some headaches at the start of the heating season this year. Connie, let me ask you a question. Would you drive your car for an entire year without taking it to have an oil change?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, the same goes for your heating system, okay? On an annual basis, your heating system should be serviced, and serviced by a professional, but there are a few things that you can do to prevent some problems or get ahead of the curve before you need that heating professional to come out. The number one thing you can do at the start of the heating season is to contact a professional, such as RJ Groner Company, to come in and perform a detailed maintenance on your system, evaluate your system's operation, check for potential problems, issues that might arise during the winter, and overall, a good, well-maintained system will save you a lot of money in the long run, not only on its life expectancy, but on its energy consumption. The second thing you can do to help yourself out as a homeowner is to check your filter. Connie, did you know that a plugged filter or a dirty filter in your heating system can impact your system's performance by as much as 30%? That means you're going to use about 30% more electric, fuel, propane, whatever it is you're heating with, just from a dirty filter not being changed. The third tip I can give you, your chimney. It's important that that gets checked at least once a year, especially before the start of heating season. Things can get in the chimney, chimneys can deteriorate over time, causing a blockage, and that could lead to serious problems. And the fourth tip I can give you, and probably one of the most important I can give you, this time of year, make sure your smoke detectors are working, make sure you change the batteries in your smoke detectors, and please make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector in your home. Carbon monoxide is a silent, deadly killer. Carbon monoxide is produced by any fuel-burning appliance that you may have in your home. It could be your heating system, it could be your gas furnace, it could be your oil boiler, it could be your fireplace. There are a number of things that can cause or produce carbon monoxide.
John, do you have any specials on maintenance this season?
We do, Connie. We always run seasonal specials at this time of year. Give us a call at our office. Our office staff will be happy to talk to you about your system and your needs.
John, if people want more information, what can we tell them?
Okay. If people want to get in touch with us, a couple ways. Number one, give us a call, 570-421-7260, or find us on the web, www.rjgroner.com.
Isn't it time for you to start enjoying your backyard just like you see in the magazines and on TV? Hi, I'm Jim Skakoza from Chestnut Hill Nursery, and we're here to help. For over 40 years, we've been creating beautiful landscapes for folks just like you. You can count on us to build it right the first time and create a long-lasting project that'll provide a lifetime of memories. Imagine a new patio, fire pit, or outdoor kitchen. Then complete the scene with amazing outdoor audio and lighting. Together we can dream it, design it, and our expert team can build it. So go to chnursery.com to set up your free consultation. Make this the season you turn those dreams into reality. Start planning that first party now.
Welcome back. We're wrapping up this show, and Jim, you know, I guess showing everyone that a little bit of planning, the preparation and proper execution can make a landscape last a long time.
Well, it is important to really consider all the elements that go into a good landscape. And you know, I tell people this all the time. You can scratch a little bit of the grass away, you can put some pavers down, and you plop a few plants in the ground, and it's all going to look good when you're first done compared to what you started with. The problem is, how does it hold up over time?
Right.
So as you've seen through these properties that we just recently visited, and you know, there are smaller properties, there are larger properties, there's somewhere in between. In this case, it was a project that really was ongoing for quite a few years and developing constantly. In other cases, it might have been all done all at one time. But these are living, breathing landscapes, okay? So it's not just put it in and forget about it. That's not how a landscape works. They do require some maintenance. Plantings are a great example. The plants themselves, even if they're very well maintained, really you can really only expect about a 15 to 20-year lifespan in most shrubs around foundations and stuff. And then you gotta kind of start from scratch again. But if you have the foundation in, you've got all the hardscape in, and it flows perfectly, and you get the lighting in, it's not a big deal to go in and change out some shrubs every once in a while and twist it up or add some color. But again, it is something that does require some regular routine. You know, you just can't forget about it.
Right.
And so it was kind of fun visiting some of these projects and remembering when we built them originally and what was involved in that, and seeing how well they held up over time.
And people have had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
A lot of
enjoying
great
their
memories.
backyards.
Yeah, that's true.
So if people want to know more, what should we tell them?
Well, listen, you know, we always would love to do a project for you, large or small, it doesn't really matter. Give us a call or catch us on the web at chnursery.com.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here. How long have you done this project? Because this grill still, that doesn't look good. I could say it and get away with it.
Okay. I'm cracking up watching you. What stop are we at?
We're at our third stop. We'll be back after this. Oh, I screwed that up.